Hi, video keeps trying to cut me out. Okay, this is a little bit different from my other videos. I mostly just want to do this to just, even though I've done a personal introduction, just to talk a little bit more about myself and why I started playing ukulele and what I hope to achieve in the future. I made a video before and I ended up accidentally ranting a little bit, rambling. So take two, I guess. Okay, so from when I started uni last year, I started developing social anxiety and just general anxiety, and in March it just peaked to a point where I was having panic attacks and shame attacks quite a lot of the time. And for those who don't know, really, it was just the worst moment, and I figured it's just mostly because for years I've got quite a large family. I'm the youngest in the family, and I have been in secondary school up until last year, and it's been constant social interaction and that kind of thing. And it wasn't until I started uni that I realised actually I don't really have much of an identity. I don't have a sense of self. I need people to be around me to be who I am. And I hadn't realised that until I was on my own. That's why I was having panic attacks and shame attacks, because there'd be some times where I'd be so overwhelmed with how lonely I was, because I commute from uni. Suddenly I'd be at home on my own and I'd realise that I can't stand my own company, and I hated it so much. And I realised that because last year I achieved a lot, a hell of a lot. I passed my driving test, I got a new car, I got my first tattoo. Because I turned 18, all these things were happening to me. And suddenly it was like, oh, well, what else is there to do on the list of things when I grow up? And it was suddenly like, okay, I'm 19, I've got really nothing to look forward to. At the beginning of this year, I just felt so crap, basically. I didn't feel like I had any kind of direction in life. Even though I always started my uni degree, I realised there were a lot of personal things that I hadn't realised until I started uni and had to be independent and not be around people all the time. That made me realise that I need to... I wasn't okay being on my own. And I started in April. I watched How I Met Your Mother as something to sort of keep my mind off things and keep me busy. And there was this one episode, How Your Mother Met Me, and there's just something about that episode that made me realise that because people who have known me for years will know that I've wanted to be in a relationship, a really serious one, for years. Mostly because I'm living in a small town. There's quite a lot of people my age and younger and older who've been their partners since they were 15, 16, even possibly younger. And I was in that relationship a couple of years ago. I've been going out with them for at least 2 years. And it got to a point where I was so dependent on them, and we just ended up breaking down, really. And it shattered me completely, because it made me realise that I had to stop. And even now, it made me realise different aspects that I just needed to stop being dependent on people to make me happy. And it's finally, watching that episode made me realise I need to do the things that make me happy, and that time will eventually come where I will meet someone when I'm ready, when I'm ready in myself. And at the moment, it means if I haven't met that person, it means I'm not ready. I mean, and it actually makes sense now, because I realise I've been getting a lot better at being independent, doing my own things, and that's why next week I'm going to Scotland, and why when I started playing ukulele as well, I realised that I just needed these things to just give me something to work towards, something to give me a little bit of purpose. And that's why I love my ukulele so much, because it gives me a reason to wake up in the morning when I'm on my own and I feel like I'm going to be crap for the rest of the day. Like this morning, I was in my pyjamas until about 12:30, and I wasn't planning on moving until I learnt some new songs, and I thought, right, I'm going to get changed and everything. It just gives me a massive purpose in life, and things like next week, I'm really scared because it's the first thing I'm going to be doing on my own that I've organised on my own without anyone's help, and I'm going to be going on my own by the looks of it, but it's the first thing that's my own, it's my own thing, and it's, for the first time, it's just going to be so nice to go and just not have to worry about anything or rely on anyone. And there have been massive things that have just helped me move forward, like Charleville, who they've just sort of, they've helped me in general in my life, and also like Paramore as well. They've helped me so much in general in my attitude towards life, and just being positive about myself and being kind to myself and doing things that make me happy, and sort of helping me realise that, because I realised I don't like being on my own, because I don't have an original thought. I didn't have anything to work towards, and it was suddenly like these people just giving me projects and just ideas to do that are original now, and it's that, and they've also all three of the things I've mentioned, they've all directed me slowly to getting a ukulele. And it's been so nice it is a massive part of why I'm independent and why I'm not 100% there yet, but it's making me realise who I want to be, what I want to do, and just being independent as an adult, because I still feel like I'm 16. There are a lot of people who, they haven't got all their life figured out, but they've mostly got the basics figured out. They've got good friends and everything, they've got a solid job, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm like a couple of steps behind. And I know it's okay now, and well, I've been told it's okay, but at the same time it scares me, because I feel like I'm being left behind. But I actually feel like I'm finally making the steps towards doing getting to that point where I'll be happy with where my life is. And the ukulele is one of the massive things that have just helped me a hell of a lot with my independence, because it's just, I've been singing for years and I've always had to rely on someone playing guitar or someone doing a backing track and that kind of thing. And it's been so nice to just, you know what, I'm going to learn this song, can I do it? Yes I can. And then straight away not having to rely on anyone apart from me, just being able to do what I love without it costing money or anything like that. And it's been so nice as well, because I've been so worried about people in the ukulele community putting me down or making me feel inadequate because I can't pluck, or I strum the wrong way, or I can't do certain chords. And like, I went up to a meeting yesterday with the ukulele group, and even in this month alone, I've met so many new people through ukulele groups who just, they are the nicest people. And it's so nice to be surrounded by this positivity, because I have got a group of friends who I met in sixth form who I'm still friends with now, because when uni started I lost quite a lot of friends because they just stopped making effort with me, or you know, they forgot me or that kind of thing. And I'm at a point where that's okay. It used to upset me, but I'm okay with it now. I'm slowly getting over it because it used to make me really angry and upset, but now I'm at that point where it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt as much, or it just doesn't. It's easier to get over with. And it's been so nice just being around positive people who just accept me and who are so welcoming and friendly as well. And I hope in the future I would like to, even though it's been only since April that I started, I hope to get to the point where I would like to start traveling. After Scotland, I'd really like to start travelling more instead of moving out, to just have that sense of freedom and independence that I can do it on my own, do things that I want to do. But also I would really like to start playing ukulele, not so much professionally, but at weddings and social events and everything. I'd like to be hired out, really, because I really enjoy performing. I mean, I've only had one open mic night, but I've done so many like karaoke nights, and before I started playing ukulele, that I know I really enjoy performing to people. I love the buzz I get from it. I love the positivity, and I just love how it brings people together, really. It just makes me happy. It's one of the few things that just for years have made me so happy, is singing, performing to people, and just music in general. I'm going to be posting up a couple of videos this week before I go away for Scotland, and because I won't be here, and it's only a week or six days, but I'm just so looking forward to it, because it's one of the first things that I'm going to be doing for myself and independently, and I'm going to bring my ukulele with me as well, in the hope that I will make some new friends because of it. But yeah, I'm sorry if this went on a little bit of a ramble, but it's just nice to be able to let it out, and feel like I'm confident and I'm comfortable enough with how I feel and what I've gone through to be able to admit this, really, because I still have social anxiety. I had points where building up to going somewhere, I hate it, but it's gotten so much better that I can just get to the point where I'm like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna go anyway. So yeah, I still have moments where I really don't like it, when I will sometimes overanalyze how people say things or what they've said, or just the little critical things that people will say. But I think that's just mostly comes with just being around other people who are positive and won't, say those kind of things that make me feel better. But it's whenever I feel down or whenever I feel bad, I've always been able to rely on my ukulele. And it sounds so cheesy, but I don't know. I have to say, this ukulele is just, even though it's early days, it's a massive passion for me, and I love it so much. Thank you for taking the time, those of you who've heard all the way through this and survived. Thank you so much for listening, and for those who are friends and family who know what I've been going through or have been helping me with my ukulele videos and commenting on them, and just telling me how much I enjoyed them. Thank you so much, because I was really worried about what people were going to say when I started, if people were going to notice or if they were just going to brush it off, because ukulele is not a real instrument. But people are always going to be like that, and I'm so glad that I have the support of people around me to do what I love. Yeah, thank you so much. Ow.